Well, welcome back. We do have a little bit of rainfall across the region from last night and a little bit from yesterday afternoon as well. But you can see really across the board about a ½ inch to an inch of rain. Some areas getting as high as maybe close to an inch and a half in some spots, especially in any areas that it kind of trained over. So we had that rain. And unfortunately, we had a little bit of damage as well. Now, right now, the conditions are certainly ripe for any storms to redevelop, at least in some aspects. First, the positives, or at least I should say, what could help with storms forming. So dew points pretty nice in the mid to upper 60s, a couple of low 70s, especially in the river valley there. So not as great in northwest Arkansas. We do have a little bit of dry air moving in there, but in the river valley, it is certainly potent. We have a lot of moisture to work with. And right now, we're not seeing a whole lot of rain out there. Very isolated out, almost dry completely across the region. We're seeing a little bit of clearing skies, especially in northwest Arkansas, a little bit in the river valley as well. So it's adding a little bit of energy to the system. Meanwhile, we do have a cold front off to the northwest here. You're noticing a cell just behind the cold front is trying to form, so I don't expect this to turn severe, but anything that develops ahead of this front could be severe. Now, that storm fuel, as I talked about, that energy, it's going to be rising from the south into portions of the river valley especially. It's going to recover a little bit after we had those storms earlier this morning. So the fuel is there, the moisture's there, but unfortunately, or I should say fortunately for us, the storms don't have great convergence. They have to lift. Those clouds have to lift. That air has to lift to form clouds and produce storms as well as potentially severe weather. Let's go back to this. So notice these red arrows here, right? So usually for storms to converge, you want it to be kind of going clashing toe to toe with the front. So you usually want it out of the southeast, right? You want a southeasterly wind, and that way it's going head on with one another. It's like two football players colliding. They kind of go up like that. That's for kind of the most ideal scenario for storms to form. However, these arrows, though, are more going to the south and to the west, so it's kind of converging with the cold front, but not great. With that, along with some morning convection, that morning storms we had, the severe risk, thankfully, is a little bit on the lower end, especially northwest Arkansas, where those stronger storms were earlier today. So that's the good news for us, is that convergence isn't as great, so the risk is a little bit lower. However, any storms that are able to form could be strong to severe. So level 2 risk for all of the river valley here, and then for portions of northwest Arkansas, their southern and eastern areas. That does not include the city of Fayetteville, but southeastern Washington County and eastward. This is going to be for the afternoon and evening, then potentially a little bit of a line redeveloping along I-40 and south. The main risks with especially initial storms that are kind of by themselves will be hail up to ping pong ball size. Winds, if they can organize into a line, would be 60 to 70 miles per hour. That tornado chance is low, but it's not zero. I will say, though, again, it is on the very low side. So let's go through futurecast. Again, the rain's really dissipated, and you notice these cells, if they do develop, they are going to be very hit or miss. Not everyone's going to see not only severe weather, but rain in general. So you can see it's pretty spotty, a little bit of a better chance in the river valley, I'd say, especially with not as strong of storms earlier today in that region. Then after 10 o'clock, and I think the main severe threat is done. What we could be watching for is, again, here's kind of near and south of I-40, we'll see some showers and storms redevelop. And this is where maybe that wind threat could evolve. Again, we'll see how strong these storms are, especially as we head later into the early morning hours, but we'll have that low-level jet kind of helping fuel. So again, we'll keep an eye on things as we go through the morning hours. In terms of your full 7-day forecast, you're going to notice that, again, we're seeing high temperatures in the low to mid 90s across the board. We are going to see plenty of heat indices in the triple digits for many areas. So once we get past today, we'll trade out the rain and bring in the heat. So one way or another, you're going to get quite a bit of a switch up here over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I was going to say Saturday and Sunday looks nice, but I mean, if you like the heat, it looks nice just because there's no, it's not seeing any clouds.
Right, exactly. It's going to be plenty of sunshine, but yeah, the humidity is going to make it feel like the triple digits. So yeah, make sure to be careful out there. But yes, if you like the heat, this is going to be certainly your week.
Perfect. Thanks, Danny. Well,